The platform fighter, code word for Smash clone. They're nothing new, but we haven't seen one that hits the same core appeal as the series that originated the genre. Platform fighters that have attempted to catch the same crossover appeal have existed almost as long as Smash. But historically, they've either been too rushed, too low budget, or they tried to do something a bit too different. Older platform fighters outside of Smash itself fail to capture the fluid movement that makes games like Melee so fun and competitive. In recent years, we have seen developers who understand what makes the genre special create mechanically solid platform fighters like Slap City and Rivals of Aether. They capture the spirit of Melee while having their own creative spin on the gameplay. But part of the fun of Smash Bros. Is that Worlds Collide epic crossover aspect. Unfortunately, as fun as the two I just mentioned are, they don't really capture this, outside of Shovel Knight and Ori being in Rivals of Aether, fulfilling this a little bit. But Nickelodeon All Stars Brawl has hit the scene, taking the internet by storm. It appears to be the first platform fighter to not only rival Smash in gameplay, but franchise crossover appeal. In a game-changing move, Nick brought in the developers of the previously mentioned Slap City, who have already proven themselves capable of making a well-regarded platform fighter. Nick was looking at all that Smash Bros. Hype, and how Nintendo doesn't embrace the competitive scene, and has actively attempted to stifle it when it comes to Melee and PM. So with dollar signs in their eyes, Nick thought to themselves, hey, there's a dedicated audience we could sell stuff to.
What inspired you to build a second
Smash Brothers!
right next door to the original?
Money!
Nick has proven they're willing to cater to the audience that Nintendo ignores. And if this thing is successful, we could see a bit of an industry trend. We all know how game publishers like to go with what's proven successful. I think there's many viable candidates to create crossover events that can be considered close to the level of Smash. But before I give my list of the 5 platform fighters that I want to see get the Nick All-Stars treatment, I need to briefly mention Framemakers and give it its due as the indie Smash Brothers. It's an upcoming platform fighter from the mind behind Super Smash Flash, with a roster that is built from beloved indie titles. They even included characters from other platform fighters, Orcane from Rivals of Aether, and Ultra Fish Bungeon 3000 from Slap City. So that's pretty cool. But personally, I'm more hyped for Nickelodeon, not only due to it coming out sooner, but due to the nostalgic roster. The hype my inner child gets from seeing Danny Phantom, Ninja Turtles, Invader Zim, and Aang duking it out in my preferred style of fighting game is a dream come true. Anyway, without further ado, here is my list of platform fighters I want for me and you.
1!
So PlayStation's already tried their hand at an All-Stars Battle Royale, but it was pretty different from Smash Bros., and rather intentionally. I can understand why Sony didn't want to be seen as just ripping off Nintendo, but it's not like that's ever stopped them before. And this game focused a bit too much on building up your super attacks rather than the moment-to-moment spacing. The roster was already pretty great with Kratos, Sly Cooper, Parappa the Rappa, but it definitely could use some almost necessary additions like Crash and Spyro. Sony could even add quite a few characters that Nintendo would never include, like Spider-Man, who wouldn't be in Smash due to not originating from a video game, or Sub-Zero, who is definitely too bloody to be in a Nintendo game, along the likes of Mario and Link. Platform fighters have been a bit more normalized, so if they made a sequel, it could fit a bit more in line with what people like and expect from platform fighters. It would likely have a bigger budget and have more third parties clamoring for a slice of that advertisement pie. I think everybody was hoping this was going to be the start of a franchise that could rival Smash, but alas, it did not bear fruit. Well, at least, not yet.
2!
Dragon Ball Z fans love Dragon Fighter Z. It's really one of the few anime fighters to not just be a gimmick-filled flashy cash grab. Despite preferring platform fighters, I am obligated to praise the way they create a 2D anime aesthetic with 3D models in this title. You really feel like you're participating in a fight from the anime. They nailed the aesthetic, and these efforts are nothing short of revolutionary for anime fighters. And I think Jump is simply wasting its golden opportunity. They have a staggering library of internationally popular franchises. And they even come out with crossover fighters regularly. But they are mechanically and competitively shallow. Does anybody really like Jump Force? Jump has already tried its hand at the platform fighters a few times. Battle Stadium Dawn was their smashiest attempt, but it was kind of stuck on coin mode. It also lacked the potential crossover appeal, only featuring Dragon Ball, One Piece, and Naruto. Hence the Dawn in Battle Stadium Dawn. Same goes for all the single franchise anime platform fighters. Jump Stars and its sequel Jump Ultimate Stars are more widely loved games. It has one of the best crossover rosters I've ever seen, and I love its integration of manga panels. However, it suffers heavily from being a DS game. It didn't have the hardware or the control setup to be something as big as Nick All Stars, but it is pretty cool in its own right. I think it's time they finally take their next fighting game seriously and make something with as wide of an appeal as Super Smash Bros. People buy these games for iconic recognizability alone. In recent years, Jump has consistently nailed the roster for these games. If they are mechanically solid games with a competitive backing, I can only imagine the community that would build around them. Fighting game tournaments are already the real-life equivalent to an anime tournament. And really, who doesn't love some good old-fashioned anime violence?
3.
Cartoon Network Punch Time Explosion was Cartoon Network's attempt at a platform fighter. Unfortunately, it takes after the slower games, such as Brawl, while having jankiness that would make Melee blush. The potential of a Cartoon Network platform fighter is absolutely insane, and would fulfill my personal nostalgia even more than Nickelodeon All Stars Brawl. Samurai Jack fighting Number 1, Dexter fighting Grimm, the Powerpuff Girls fighting Johnny Bravo, epic and hilarious. I love how they nail the Cartoon Network aesthetic in this game. I just wanted it to be good so bad. Like, I literally just want this, but Cartoon Network. I want this, but good. Just imagine who we could get from the modern Cartoon Network era. Outside of some obvious main characters, I'd like to see the Lich from Adventure Time, Skips from Regular Show, Spinel from Steven Universe, and Alan Dracula from Infinity Train. Hopefully, after Cartoon Network sees their longtime television rival give such a well-received and earnest attempt at making a platform fighter, Punch Time Explosion can get another shot. It's not like Nickelodeon All Stars Brawl is the first game in its franchise. It follows up some pretty janky games with nothing but glory. And I think Cartoon Network can do the same.
4.
So here's the pick that will never happen. Disney. If any media giant could truly give Smash Ultimate's roster a run for its money, it would be Disney. Imagine Marvel characters, Star Wars characters, Simpsons characters, Gravity Falls characters, or even Kingdom Hearts characters. I don't even have to elaborate on how expansive the catalog of characters is. You know how big Disney is, and don't even pretend like you don't. The only problem here, Disney is very skeptical about having a game where Disney characters beat each other up. That's the reason Dissidia became a Final Fantasy game instead of a Kingdom Hearts game. Despite this massive improbability, I can't deny how utterly incredible this roster has the potential to be. And I would be remiss if I didn't at least mention how cool it could be.
5.
It's looking like Ultimate will be Sakurai's last game, which makes sense. He's dedicated a huge portion of his life and his health to making these games. He would probably like to work on something else, maybe a Kid Icarus, or a new project entirely, and if he decides to take a break, or even retire, he's definitely earned some rest. Smash Bros. Ultimate is practically as good as a non-melee style platform fighter can be, with a roster count and franchise diversity that will likely never be topped. This seems to be Sakurai's ultimate vision. But Smash makes a lot of money, and Nintendo won't let the franchise rest forever. What is left for the future of Smash Bros? Well, if other companies start to make too much money off of a formula that was founded under Nintendo's roof, maybe, just maybe, they'll eventually feel the need to bring it home and finally cater to the Melee crowd. Maybe, just maybe, we can finally get the spiritual successor to Super Smash Bros. Melee that fans have been clamoring for over a decade. That's right, The final Smash clone I want to take after Nickelodeon All Stars Brawl is Super Smash Bros. Itself. I wouldn't want the genre to get too bloated, but I think there's room for rotating attempts at taking up the Super Smash Bros. Mantle, and both Rivals of Aether and Nickelodeon All Stars Brawl have shown how much you can mix up the formula while keeping the core appeal. Hopefully, at least one of these crossover platform fighters I mentioned is brought to us, but even if not, we already have some really great choices to pick from what already exists.